Howdy and pull up. My name is Teerebwa and I am taking 8152 as my course in this first semester. This presentation will basically focus on theories and details of human development in social-cultural contexts. It will consist of creative visual representations about human development, which is my topic, and to discuss on how it relates to my home context, which is my case home country, Kiribati. For slide 2, the slide interprets about my own opinion or how I recognize human development in social-cultural contexts. It simply involves in the change of a person in terms of their personal growth, such as their emotions, mind, body, and social interactions. In relating this idea to islands in the Pacific, human developments mostly happen within this region, where people from each family or in community are willing to help each other to grow up or develop in good conditions. Most members of the family or community nurture their children with good teachings, will help them develop with good manners or to grow up to know their purpose as children. In Figure 1, the picture simply shows that the three factors help affect the development of a person. In my own understanding of this interpretation, I believe that everyone is responsible for their own development, whether if they adapt to good factors, they will develop in good conditions, or if they choose to apply bad things, that will affect their development. They will either develop in bad conditions. For slide 3, this slide I will simply discuss some of my chosen theories among the other theories of human development, which are Piaget cognitive theory, Lev Vygotsky social development theory, and Erikson's psychosocial theory. Now let's look at Piaget theory, or Jean Piaget theory in 1896 to 1980 in human development. There are four stages of which Piaget proposed, which are sensorimotor stage, pre-operational stage, concrete operational stage, and formal operational stage. For these stages, it simply emphasizes about how children actively construct knowledge as they explore, act, and manipulate their world. This picture shows the four stages, and for the sensorimotor stage, it is from birth to 2 years of age of a child, where children observe about the world by using their senses and the way they act, like roaming around their environment. For the pre-operational stage, it is around 2 to 7 years of a child, where at this stage they do not use a set of logical rules. They reflect on things not by logical reasoning, but the view of those things and how it appears to them. They involved and participated in games with dolls and pretended that playing games are more significant. However, the concrete operational stage is where children are beginning to use a set of logical rules and confirm to know how people view the world in different way, and they can work things out what comes out from their head. The last stage, which is formal operational stage, ages between 12 or over 12 years of an age, where as an adolescents approach this stage, they can actually understand what happened around them and can able to solve their problems on their own, especially in times struggling, especially about schoolwork to solve them. This is the link. Now let's discuss about Vygotsky's social development theory, which is in 1897 to 1934. It emphasized the effectiveness of social interactions and cultural tools on children's cognitive growth. The three key elements include zone of proximal development, CBD, scaffolding, and cultural tools. For zone of proximal development. This element where a kid needed a partner to interact their connection with based on teaching, whether by their parents or caregivers. Vygotsky emphasizes that social interaction with kids is a significant learning to adapt new information rather than being alone as a kid. If the parent caregiver is teaching a kid based on a good moral conditions, a kid will likely to grow with good behaviors. If otherwise teach a kid with lack moral behaviors, a kid will also likely to adapt with bad behaviors as well. Vygotsky interprets the zone of proximal development as the place where most delicate guidance should appear, the ability to allow a child to increase and learn new skills as they will grow and adapt it later on their own. For scaffolding, this is an element where it consists of how an educator, tutor, or caregiver develops activities in more ways that will give support to the student. The support may include in ways such as modeling or asking questions in order for the kids to know more. As one example of one young girl playing jigsaw, she cannot perform very well as she solves it alone, while as the father emphasizes the activity to her and help her get the idea of that game, she becomes more putting herself in the position where she is confident in doing it. As for this, the father can leave her to work on her own independently. For cultural tools, Vygotsky believed that cultural tools like tools and symbolic tools place crucial responsibilities in cognitive development. He explains that those tools that provided are for encouraging mind process with all the mind's working tools like giving reasons for something and solving issues are conducted by psychological tools, including language, signs, and symbols. The adults teach their children social interaction through social interaction. These tools during everyday activities in order for the children to adopt them. So after that, those tools can develop the student's ability to grow their mindset in their own development of growth. Now let's discuss about zone of proximal development. This element where a kid needed a partner to interact their connection with based on teaching whether by their parents or caregivers. Vygotsky emphasizes that social interaction with kids is a significant learning to adapt new information rather than being alone as a kid. If the parent caregiver is teaching a kid based on good moral conditions, a child will likely to grow up with good behaviors. If otherwise teach a kid with like moral teachings, a kid will also be likely to adapt with bad behaviors as well. Vygotsky interprets the zone of proximal development as the place where most delicate guidance should appear. The ability to allow a child to increase and learn new skills as they will adapt to it later on their own. Now, scaffolding. This is an element where it consists of how an educator, tutor, or caregiver develops activities in more ways that will give support to the student. The support may include in ways such as modeling or asking questions in order for the kids to know more. As one example of one young girl playing jigsaw, she cannot perform very well as she solves it alone, while as the father emphasizes the activity to her and help her get the idea of that game, she becomes more putting herself in the position where she is confident in doing it. As for this, the father can leave her to work on her own independently. For cultural tools, Vygotsky believed that cultural tools like real tools and symbolic tools plays a crucial responsibilities in cognitive development. He explains that those tools that provided are encouraging mind process with all minds working tools, including language, signs, and symbols. The adults teach their children through social interaction these tools during everyday activities in order for the children in order to adopt them. So after that, those tools can develop the students' ability to grow their mindset in their own development of growth. For this slide, Erikson's psychosocial theory. Let's discuss some of Erikson's psychosocial theory in 1902 to 1994. Erikson was as famous as a theorist who took Freud's controversial theory of psychosexual development and modified it as a psychosocial theory. According to Erikson's theory, we are provided to experience the 8 stages of development throughout our lives from an infancy to adulthood, as there are some issues or rules that we need to overcome in each stages. Here are the 8 stages of development we need to experience over our lifespan, as mentioned in this picture. And for the first one, which is stress versus mistrust, the infant from birth to 12 months of age can learn whether trust or mistrust from their caregivers over time. Since the caregivers give both simple needs to the child of for living or important things to consider in their lives for development, the child will develop their trust issues over their caregivers. If the caregivers do not meet the infant's crucial things to provide to them, or their treatment toward the infant is not appropriate, the child will also develop his or her mistrust issue over their caregiver throughout their life development. Second one, which is in autonomy versus shame and doubt. Toddlers from age 1 to 3 years, as they begin to navigate their real world. A toddler at that time began to concern for their needs in which they needed, like their clothes, food, and others that will satisfy them. This stage is where toddlers are like doing things in their own independently, where if their parents or caregivers does not give the toddler what she wants to earn it, like the way she will be eating or clothing, she may experience the ability of denial within her environment, leading to be ashamed and feeling down. Third one, which is initiative versus guilt. As children approach the preschool stage between the age of 3 to 6 years, they begin to adopt new activities within the social relationship and playing around where initiative takes role, where parents or caregivers let a child to expose into her or his own choice of needs and wants to accomplish. Those kids who experience being supported by their parents will develop their purpose in life, while the ones who are feeling to be unsuccessful in this stage, it will cause their mixed up feelings with guilt. The fifth one, which is industry versus inferiority. This is a stage where children reach an age between 6 to 12 years. In this stage, children begin to increase their feeling where they started to compete in their life with other peers, especially in schoolwork or other activities that will develop their sense of competence with others. The sixth one, identity versus role confusion. This is a stage of an adolescence, an age between 12 to 18 years, where an adults have a strong sense of wanting to be successful in the future. So throughout their journey, they will tend to commit themselves to know their purpose in life and the goals they had set up to accomplish along the way as an adult journey. Those adults who commit themselves with their purpose and remain faithful to their journey to be successful along the way. They will receive a good and beneficial future ahead of them, while the ones who do the opposite, they will struggle to search for their purpose as an adult. The sixth one, intimacy versus isolation. An adulthood between the ages of 20 to 40, it's where people experience a life as an adolescence where they will personally develop their sense of relationship with others, but throughout this relationship they have with others, some will develop rejection, left out, or isolation if does not work out. So Erikson urged through his theory that adulthood must build up their strong ability to reach out for successful relationship with others to avoid loneliness or to be left out. The seventh, generativity versus stagnation. A middle-aged adult where people approach 40 years of age through to their mid-60s. This is where they explore generativity and stagnation. Generativity, it is where it leads to a life of our development occurs within our people within that age experience the way to raise children and also helping their family in good conditions and other activities for development and involving in responsibilities that will help the society to grow. People who do not hesitate to make the tasks. These tasks, as their priority, may face stagnation, where their life will lead with besides self-engagement and improve to the limit. The last one, integrity versus despair. Despair. Throughout the life people has experienced, they have come to the mid-60s or late adulthood period. Erickson calls this stage as an integrity versus despair. Most people in this stage can look back to how their lives has been through, whether it comes with good results or some comes with result with regrets. People who has a feeling of integrity will place of their hard work throughout their journey, while some will regret for not being successful at the end, which led to mixed up feelings of exhausted, hopeless, and despair. Now we'll come to slide 7. Human development in my home context. Human development in my home context that contributed to human growth. Growing up in Kiribati, I know that human development is responsible for each and everyone to carry out their growth of development. As shown in figure 3, it is a picture of children learning in the classroom to absorb knowledge and wisdom so that they might gain good education with good career in the future while developing. In Kiribati, people with good careers and education will gain a better future while growing up. For figure 4, it is a picture of a Kiribati chapel where everyone in the island attended for gaining a spiritual soul to grow up spiritually within the area of their place they live in. They considered going to church to make right choices that will bring them to the right direction of their path in their future. In figure 5, it shows a picture of a simple family consisted of parents with their children. This indicates that in a family, parents are the one who nurture their children with words and actions so that they will grow up with purpose. In a family, cultures and traditions are vital to teach the children like moral attitude and other moral behaviors, while dancing, weaving mats, and others are sufficient for their growth so that their future will be beneficial. In my country, elders in the family, especially parents, taught their children to know about their cultures and traditions like mentioned, such as dancing, fishing, cooking, and others, so that they will be successful throughout their training or know how to look after themselves once their parents are not there anymore. For slide 8, let's consider looking at the question, how important is human development in understanding growth? To further discuss on this, let us look to the three reasons given which are application in various fields. For the first reason, which is applications in various fields, it means that if people have knowledge or understanding of human development like educators, parents, and others will know how to interact with individuals of different ages and backgrounds. For example, parents know how to look after their children well as they understand what they need and how they behave, and they know how to provide for their children's healthy growth. For the second reason, which is framework of growth stages. This means that through human development, it provides a very crucial framework to identify the important stages of development that people experience through infancy to late adulthood. For this reason, let's reflect back to Erickson's theory with 8 stages that best represent the journey of a person through challenges and milestones they face, where people can learn from this theory and understand the framework of their growth. For the third reason, which is enhancing personal insight, this really means that human development is crucial in understanding growth because it also can assist a person with insight that reflects to their own past experiences that will motivate themselves to make better choices for their future ahead of them. For the last slide, which is my conclusion. In the last slide, I want to summarize up my points according to the topic. By understanding human developments in social cultural context, we can attain more self-confidence about our own developments. As we can see in figure 6, it is a picture of a life stages development where we can learn through the theories we go throughout our growth and be able to learn from them. As we have the power to control our own development, it is important to look after ourselves and people around us in our communities so that we can grow together on a right path of development. Thank you. This is the link that I get the picture from.